you go in there and you get that prescription, guess what he does? He send you to the trap house. What's the trap house? Walgreens, CVS, and any other drugstore where you can go. They got so many different kinds of dope in there. It's ridiculous. They have nothing to help you cure.
We know that if you have a car that take 87, you're not gonna put 89, because guess what? The car gonna start messing up. Guess what? Because it matters what you put inside of it and how it's gonna run. It's the same for us. We're a vehicle, just like the car. Just we doing different things, really.
Next time you go to the doctor, man or a woman, next time you go to a doctor, and you say, hey, doc, how long have you been in the field? And he say, 15, 20 years, may say longer than that. You say, well, out of those 15, 20 years, how many people have you cured?
In between this video, y'all go in the comments. Y'all comment something that y'all are unfamiliar with or want to know about. And maybe we can come on here and talk about it and do some research on it, and we can get the facts and speak the truth about whatever it is that y'all put in the comments, and we can talk about it.
Hello world, how everybody out there doing? Hopefully everybody doing well. Welcome to another episode of Generational Health and Self-Love. I'm your host, Life.
Ron Easy.
And today we about to get right into it. We want to talk about health, and a lot of times we just spend time talking about mental health and stuff like that, and we're gonna continue to talk about that. But today we're gonna mix it up, a little mental health, but we're gonna dive deep into the physical health and the things that have been going on in our world as far as our food supply, water supply, and just all the things that's been nagging us health-wise. We've been having a lot of issues when it comes to our health, and I think it's just time that we really talk about it and really try to get an understanding of what's been plaguing our community for years with these different health issues. So, you got anything you want to say before we get all the way into it?
I mean, yeah, in this world we fight a lot of different battles, but I think the medical and health industry is the Trojan horse of what's going on in the world. And if we stopped and looked at this one problem, maybe we can all come together and realize that we all getting effed over, no matter the race, age, or whatnot, or whatever you want to say. But it's affecting us all. So, yeah,
definitely. And I just want to say, like, for me, and I don't try to, I'm plant based, and I don't try to push my way of living on people, so to speak. But I do have these discussions about the different health things, the food. And prior to me, I've been plant based since 2009. And when I became plant-based, everybody, family, friends, thought I was going crazy. They like, what are you doing? Are you in a cult or something like that? I'm like, no, I'm just trying to, do something different. I'm trying to heal myself. Because prior to me going plant-based, I had asthma. I had a breathing machine. Still got it in my room right now to this day. But I had problems with asthma my whole life, even as a baby. My mom used to tell me, she used to run me to the hospital because I was having an asthma attack. I couldn't breathe and all these different things. And so I just, and I do remember times, I remember when I was in high school, one day getting ready for school, and just walking up the stairs, I started to have problems breathing, and I could feel like the asthma like kicking in, and my chest was just tightening up on me, and I was walking up the stairs, and halfway through the stairs, I couldn't even continue to walk. I'm laying on the stairs, and finally one of my family members see me, and I had to go to the hospital. I had to get a shot in this arm, a shot in that arm, an inhaler, some medication, and I remember having this cycle continue over the years, over and over again. But when I decided to become plant-based, no more asthma. No more asthma attacks. No more trouble breathing. It's like I could actually breathe. I can actually be as physical as I wanted to. No inhalers, no none of that. And that's 15 years now. I ain't had no problem with my asthma. And so many other things that I had problems with cleared up. So I'm living proof. I'm just telling what I heard or what I seen. I'm telling what I lived through, what I've been through with my own testament and things that happened to me prior to being plant-based and then me becoming plant-based. So with that, all I'm trying to say is whatever you put into your body, that's what you're gonna get out of it. So if you putting garbage in it, what you expect to get out of it? If you're not putting life in your body, how do you expect to get life out of it? So like if you go to the grocery store, for instance, and no matter what you pick up off those shelves, 9 times out of 10, when you turn it around to read those ingredients, most of us can't even pronounce what's in our food. When we look at those ingredients, and it's probably 30 of them in a can of soup. We can't even pronounce half the things that we read on the back of these uh, food sources. We can't read what I mean. Some of the word, of course, I'm not saying we illiterate or nothing, but this is all chemical. This is all. This ain't had nothing to do with health. Those ingredients that you read on the back of those uh, labels and stuff, those things don't have nothing to do with health. Those things have to do with chemists and it's chemicals. It's nothing to do with health. So like when you go to the cereal aisle and you see all these bright colors and red, blue, it's like a damn rainbow because those things off the top they grab your attention and they make you like excited. Oh man, that's wow! Look at all these different. And but as soon as you pick that box up and you turn it around and you go to reading it, you like. Well, most people don't do that though. People just go grab and something that they like, and they never take the time out to really read and see what they put in their body because they don't know how these things affect us not only on a physical level but on a mental level. You have to understand that everything that you put in your body is going to affect you in a negative way or in a positive way. So we have to do better at teaching ourselves in order to teach our children and our other family members how to correctly eat and what to put in our bodies because we losing people like and I don't got to depending on who you are where you at it don't really matter because I, we all losing people like daily, yearly, monthly, week. Like we losing people so much at such a high rate right now that we have to pay more attention to what we doing and and the pain that it's causing us. And you want to say something about that? Because I know you deal with a lot of things physically prior to becoming plant based, and
Yeah,
you
I was going to hit to start with a point of people who we all know about nicotine in cigarettes and
mhm
smoke and nicotine is obviously a chemical,
mhm
but just like nicotine can make you addicted to something or make you have cravings for it or want to go back to it, there's other chemicals in different foods that can do have a different effect or like make you hyperactive or make you tired or make you a bunch of other different things. So when you see, like you said, the chemicals, a bunch of chemicals on the back of the labels or in the ingredients, you got to think about when you give that certain, like it's really in a lot of the candies and the snacks. So you got to think about when you give those things to your kids, how the different chemicals you don't know that are on the ingredients, how those are affected your kid's brain. And usually, we don't know a lot of the science and a lot of what's going on. So when we give our kids this, we don't ever think that it could be a part of the problem when it comes to their behavior. So we just decide to go right to the doctors. And
mhm
usually, the way that works is when you go to the doctors, they say that they have this or that and they put them on something. But really, if you take out what you've been feeding the kid that has been giving them the chemical to their brain that's been making them act a certain type of way, you can get rid of the problem real fast and replace it with something more natural or just something different. But in this day and age of the world, we so busy with so many other things in life, like making sure you get the bills paid next day, the next month, making sure you rent, all that other stuff, working, trying to create our own life. We don't really have time, or we don't really make the time to
mhm
look into what our kids are doing or what's in our food, or all the little you might think is little, a bunch of little things that can pile together and make one big thing. So we exclude that from our life because of what we have going on, not realizing that it plays a big part. But I say all that because I feel like if we stopped and started looking at the little things like the chemicals and started learning more, we wouldn't be able to be so fooled so easily by all the things that are pushed upon us, because it's just a lot of propaganda out there that's just trying to push certain things to make us think that we need this or that, when the real case is we just need to go back natural, and do some a more healthier way of eating, and not like GMO, and even like some of the vegan or plant based meats. Some of them got, like, I don't do impossible. I got impossible stuff. It got, like, it's all it made in the lab with a bunch of different chemicals as well. So you got to be careful even on the vegan side, or whatever you might call yourself. But it's just we need to start becoming more aware. And the ways we could do that is like taking days out of our free time to just take a step back and look and see, what are we feeding our kids? What are we doing, or what are some things that can help them with how they act, and or how they move, or how they think, and all those other things. It'll take probably like a week or a couple of days just to do something consistently and try to affect that way. And then maybe you could start thinking about taking them off the medication that they might be on, because a lot of times when you do go to the doctor for stuff like that, they end up on medication for a long time, and that might not even be what they need. So I think
It ain't
that's
what they need.
yeah. So I think that's something that we should start doing and look into when it comes to this.
I think, and I agree with everything you just said. And I think a lot of parents don't never associate a child's behavior or diagnosis with what they eat. And I think that becomes an issue, because if I'm trying to get rid of a certain behavior or a certain physical ailment, and I don't know what's causing it, it's almost impossible for me to get rid of it, because I don't know what the cause of it is. So if parents knew that, hey, if you continue to feed your child this, or if you eat this while you're pregnant, the chances of your child being born with autism are even much greater. Because you got to think, all the parents out there, where the hell did autism come from? Because it ain't just like it's been around for hundreds and thousands of years. When I was growing up, I never heard of the word. The word, I don't even think the word existed. And it could have existed, but I never heard people use that word autism until probably like the last 15, maybe 10, 15 years, a little bit longer, maybe 20 at the most. But now that word is so relevant in our communities, in our schools, in our homes, that we hear it often. And we feel bad for the child because, my child been diagnosed with autism. My child been diagnosed with ADHD. But the whole time is, we are the root problem of why the child is being diagnosed with these different issues, because of their diet. We do not connect the two. And that's the biggest issue, when you understand that the food is causing your pain, your suffering, the different things that you being diagnosed is coming from the food. So then you get these issues, you go to the doctor, and the doctor, he just treats the issues. If you go to next time you go to the doctor, man or a woman, next time you go to a doctor, and you say, hey, doc, how long have you been in the field? And he say 15, 20 years, may say longer than that. You say, well, out of those 15, 20 years, how many people have you cured? I know you treat people, you treat me, but how many people have you actually cured? Because we got to understand, really, that should be the job of the doctor. It ain't to put me on medication for 10, 15, 20 years. They turn you into a customer. That's their job. They're not trying to heal you. Your doc is your ops. And I'm going to say that one more time for the people that didn't hear. Your doc is your ops. That's the person that's trying to kill you slowly. But before he kills you, he gonna take everything he got out of that bank account and out of your insurance plan. Because that's just what they do. Because your doctor, guess what? He has a family. And if you don't get sick, he can't feed his family. He can't send his daughter or his son to college. He can't go get that new boat. He can't even get a membership at the golf course at the golf club, because he needs people to be sick in order to live the lifestyle that he has created for him and his family. His whole existence as far as his lifestyle is dependent on your health. So if you in good health, guess what? The doctor, it's no money for him in good health. It's only money for your doctor when your health is bad. And once you go in there and you get that prescription, guess what he does? He send you to the trap house. What's the trap house? Walgreens, CVS, and any other drugstore where you can go. They got so many different kinds of dope in there. It's ridiculous. They have nothing to help you cure. They only have things that's going to treat the symptoms. And what to treat the symptoms do? All they do is just, it's like laying some, it's like corn in the kitchen, and instead of sweeping it up, you lay a rug over it. You ain't got rid of it. It's still there. You just put something over it to mask it temporarily. But those things that you're suffering, they're only going to get worse because now you got this medication that comes with multiple side effects on top of the complications you already having. So now you turn around, you can't pee, or your pee messed up, or your urine changing colors. It's strong. It's just I'm like, when do we finally start to understand? When do we start to realize that our health is on us? It's not on the doctor. When you go to the doctor, what do they say? What's going? They ask you about what's going on with you, and based on what you say is what the diagnosis is gonna be for whatever drug. I don't care what you go into the hospital doctor for. It's always you always gonna leave with a drug. They're gonna always try to put a drug on you. And one thing, what's so crazy? Why is there some hospital? And it's a lot of hospitals, but it's crazy when I go to the hospital and see a McDonald's in there. This is supposed to be where you go get cured, so to speak. This is where it's supposed to be healthy. How many people when you go to the hospital and you be like, I ain't eating this food. The food look horrible. Anybody that's been to a hospital, I'm not lying. The food in the hospital look worse than the food at the cafeteria at the schools. The food look like garbage. So not only, so if you feed me garbage, what makes me why should I think that the medication is going to help me when I'm here and the food don't even agree with me? It's just like it's too many different things that's showing us that this is not the way to go. A lot of people I see now, majority of the people here, when I say here, I mean in America, they overweight, they obese, they suffering through some type of problem. And it's majority of the time, it's the food. The food is killing us slowly but surely. And it's like we got to take time out and do our own research and stop trusting people because they went and got a degree and put on this white jacket. That don't mean nothing.
Yeah, it's interesting that you say that. But first, I'm gonna start by talking about the. I'm interested in people don't correlate the what you eat to how you are because we know that if you have a car that take 87, you're not gonna put 89 because guess what? The car gonna start messing up. Guess what? Because it matters what you put inside of it and how it's gonna run. It's the
Hmm.
same for us. We're a vehicle, just like the car. Just we doing different things, really. But it's crazy that you talked about the oh well first when we was talking about when you was talking about the doctor thing, I think that it's not usually all doctors, but well, not that it's not all doctors. It's more that some of them are ignorant to what they're even doing because they've been in schools that told them that this is the right way, this is that way, and really that's not really the case because I don't know. I feel like the our community, almost all of them know about Dr. Sebi. Like I don't come across people when I ask about Dr. Sebi that they don't usually know. So if we know what Dr. Sebi did and what he was curing and the people he was saving and how he was attacked obviously because how he get to go to court for saving people, which didn't make no sense. But if we know that his all his teachings and all his the lessons he learned was saving people, then how do we not already have the cures and all that for what's going on right now and all this time has passed? It's for a reason because what they've been taught It's not to cure. It's to what's it called, prescribe. So a lot of the times, uh, I don't. I think the doctors just don't understand what they're doing because obviously they've been lied to as well. And that leads to my next segment because it's crazy you talked about the autism thing because um, back I feel like a lot of these big companies
Mm-hmm.
have what all the money they have, they can pay researchers, people with the degrees and the white coats to
Mm-hmm.
do little experiments and to propaganda make create propaganda to make us think that, say they told the scientists to do this, run this experiment, and majority of their tests failed, but they had one what's it called, one outlier
Mm-hmm.
that proves this, but it was majority of the other ones failed. They could take that and make it seem like that this is the rule for certain things, like kind of like how fast they made smoking popular. And back in the day, at first it
Mm-hmm.
was, yeah, smoking is cool. It helps you this, it helps you this,
Mm-hmm.
calm you down, da
Mm-hmm.
da da.
Mm-hmm.
But just as quick as they made it popular, they turned it around with saying, to cancel smoking, don't smoke, don't do that, blah blah blah. But they have people who they can pay
Mm.
to make different researches, different information come out saying that it's for it or this is good for you or this is that. Kind of like even like how we think we need to have breakfast, lunch, and dinner. That's not the case. We do not need breakfast, lunch, and dinner. But guess what? We were taught or programmed to think that that was the case. And even with the food pyramid, you got to understand that it's people with a lot of money that when they want something to be sold or when they want people to like something, they can
Mm-hmm.
pay people to make people assume or make people think or make people want to have their product. And
Mm-hmm.
that just comes with them paying somebody, and then either they come out with different papers or news about the whatever the situation may be, and then now everybody go geared towards whatever they trying to sell and they making money, even if it's bad for you. So that's just something we should keep in mind.
You know what they call that? Marketing.
Oh yeah.
And just to bring up back to Dr. Sabi, I'm glad you brought that up because I'm this right here. You need to see this right here. Dr. Sabi went to trial for all because a lot of people, I didn't know about Dr. Sabi my whole life. You didn't know about your whole life, but the information was brung to you somehow, some way. You learned about Dr. Sabi, right?
It was something. It was big. Something big was going on.
Well, and plus, with us trying to live this plant based lifestyle, we're gonna come across somebody who was big in that realm of,
I knew about him before I went even vegetarian or vegan.
Okay, but what
So
all I'm saying is a lot of people don't know about it. More people have learned about him since you see more of the world gravitating trying to get a little healthier. But I just want to read this. Dr. Sabi went to trial in the late 80s. 80s. The late 80s. That's over 30 years ago. And people still don't believe his cures. This man went to trial. So you got to understand when you go to trial, if you lose, you go to prison. If you win, that means you were correct and you go home. He won his trial. They told him to bring in like 5 or 6 people that he worked on. He brung in close to 100. I think he brung in over 100, showing their diagnosis before they came to visit him and showing their diagnosis after. This man cured AIDS. This man cured sickle cell, herpes, blindness, and so many other different things that they say are uncurable. So everybody out there with these different diseases that they call them, dis-ease, I'm telling you, like I know a lot of people with sickle cell, and they continue to eat the diet that causing them the pain. I don't know nobody with AIDS, but I'm sure the people out there who have contracted AIDS, you can be all these things that you can be cured of. But if you don't have the strength within yourself, you just gonna live with them all your life. But these we've been lied to about all these different things. We've been told that if you contract this, You know, it's a lifetime disease. And guess what they do? You on medication your whole life treating something that you could have got rid of just by changing your diet and adding herbs to it.
And it don't even cost hundreds of thousands of dollars or
Boy,
millions like they think they gotta be Magic Johnson.
yeah. Who probably did, well, probably never had it, but that's a whole nother story. But
Oh
you know,
really?
yeah, he the only one. Even he hadn't had AIDS since 92, 93, and he still trucking.
I wouldn't
Either
know.
if he did have it, he went to see Sabi. I think it was just all propaganda, like a lot of things they do. They throw stuff out there to put us in fear, and then all we do is run around trying to. We scared and all this. We nervous.
COVID.
Yeah, COVID. You know that was another thing, and you had so. Do you did man? COVID split and divided so many people and families. People, you can't come to my wedding unless you get this COVID shot. Really? You can't do this. I don't want you around my kids. No, why don't you think? Why don't you? I was one of the only people during COVID traveling, and I remember I stay in Georgia, and I remember going to Illinois. I remember driving from Georgia to Illinois, and I have to. When you drive from Georgia to Illinois, you go from Georgia to Tennessee to Kentucky to Illinois. It wasn't a soul on the road, and I wasn't trying to make that rhyme. It wasn't a soul on the road. All I seen was a couple 18 wheelers. Outside of that, it was like The Walking Dead. It was like nobody else on the world even existed. I felt like, what the hell? People were so scared. And when I got to Illinois, I visited my mom, and my mom was like, you know, she was talking to me about it, and she was saying, you know, man, this COVID stuff is this, is that. I said, Mama, hold on. I said, you see me right here, right now. I done been all over. You ain't nothing wrong with me. And she was like, you know what? You're right. I said, man, it's all about your health. People can scare you to death. That really is a true saying. Scared to death? They scared people to death, making them run out, get a shot of chemicals. They have no clue where this stuff came from. And what's so crazy about it is people in our community always talking about they don't like our community. They do this to us. They do that to us. They take us to jail. They don't want us getting by. But then when they come out with a drug, we all go run and take it. So all of a sudden, now they care about us. Now they want us to live. Now they want us to be healthy and come on now. We have to really like use our common sense. Because like I told somebody, common sense went on a vacation and it just never came back. It don't make sense for the medical field to want to save us and help us if our food is contaminated, our water is contaminated, our air is contaminated. Why would they give us something to help us from a so-called
Virus.
virus? Come on, it just don't make no sense. It don't add up. It don't make no sense. That's like being in a relationship with somebody that's abusing you over and over again, and all of a sudden they love you and they want to help you. Man, you've been beating me for the last 10 years. Like, come on, we have to wake up because it's really important because we raising children in this world and in this environment, and if they don't learn, their children will also be a part of this BS that's going on where they killing us through the food, they killing us through the music, they killing us through so many different things, and we have to understand that we are the true healers.
Oh yeah, and then, you know it's crazy because not too long ago, just recently after the whole incident with the virus, they've been coming out with it's been coming out back to back with how they was lying about this, how they was lying about that, how they was lying about this. It's like, and then they even talked about how the the shot was killing people too, a bunch, and it was just it was like wow. But back when it was happening, I already was like sus, and I knew it was like just they was lying to us
Yeah.
because they said one of the things they said they was like you can have it but not know you have it and your body won't show no signs of having it and then you could give it to other people. It's like so you mean that's like and even if that was the case, it sounds like you trying to spread like hysteria and make people scared because why? How so you can get it something, not that your body won't show no reaction to you having it, and then you saying that you can give it to a whole bunch of other people. So like, how? What are you supposed to? So everybody just could have it and not or not have it. No symptoms, no nothing. Like it's just like what are you trying to get us to do? Because you can't know that you don't like.
Scares to
It don't make
death.
no sense.
That's what they
It don't make
trying.
no sense.
Even and to piggyback off what you're saying, a lot of people, and this ain't about how we feel. This is about the truth. A lot of people in New York lost their jobs. You had nurses who were fired. You had people because they wouldn't take the shot. You and if a lot of all you basketball fans, I'm sure y'all know about Kyrie Irving. Kyrie Irving refused to get the shot, and so they was taking his check. But then I'm sure y'all, well, they didn't publicize this too much. But a year or so later, all those people that were fired, those it was even some policemen, it was doctors, nurses, it was a lot of people in the health industry. All those people in outside of whatever industry they was in, but all those people, New York sanctioned that those people not only get their jobs back, they get back pay for all the time that they was missing. So that like little things like that are little nuggets to let you know that it was all propaganda. Because if it was real, if it was true, them people wouldn't have never got no back pay, get their jobs back, because you would have felt like they were endangering people by not getting the shot. But since it was propaganda, and since it wasn't really what they were saying it was, they had to give these people their money back,
Yep, yep, yep.
and their jobs back. So I'm just saying, like, do your own research. Don't even listen to me or my son. Do your own research. Learn about how your body works, and stop listening to people who don't care about you. And your own research is only required. It only requires a little bit of self love, because only people that love themselves is going to take the time and the work to figure out what's going on with my body. Why am I acting like this? Why I'm gaining weight like this? Why am I so moody? You know what I'm saying? We have to do our own research and stop listening to people who never cared about us or our children.
Yep. But with all that being said, how about this? Um, in between this video, y'all go in the comments. Y'all comment something that y'all are unfamiliar with or want to know about, and maybe we can come on here and talk about it and get some redo some research on it, and we can get the facts and what the speak the truth about whatever it is that y'all put in the comments, and we could talk about it.
Definitely. And just before we gonna get out of here real shortly,
Yeah.
but I just want to let y'all know I'm about to start this 21-day fast. Now you don't have to start it when I do, but you can do your research. And if you're trying to get toxins out of your body, you're trying to heal yourself, just try it. It's gonna be a 21-day all raw diet, no cooked food, just fruit and vegetables. Water, of course, different herbs, but that's just gonna be the base of it. 21 days, and no low vibration conversations, no certain TV shows. It's just gonna be a full detox, because when you detox over a period of time, you release a lot of things that are not good for your body. A lot of things that are causing you to go to the hospital. You can get rid of those things on your own with just two things: discipline and consistency. Those two things will relieve you a lot of stress and a lot of pain. So believe in yourself, trust yourself, love yourself, and know that you are enough. And stop doubting yourself. You strong, you can do this. Like, you really can. Like, we can all do this. We just got to come together and mentally understand that we are stronger together than we are apart.
Yep. And I just want to end this off by saying we're tired of the lies. We're tired of propaganda. We're tired of people being silenced, people getting canceled for talking about the truth. We are going to make a stand, and we got to do it together. So let's, do our research, become educated, and start growing.
Yeah, do our own research and stop being opinionated. Be open minded, and don't be afraid to challenge things you've been living and told your whole life. Because a lot of things we've been told our whole life was lies, just to keep us to keep other people in control and keep food on their table while we suffer and try to figure out how we gonna put food on ours. So with that being said, we just want to let y'all know that we love all y'all and we want the best for everybody. This ain't just for this person, that person. This is for the universe. We got to come together because we all one at the end of the day. So with that being said, peace and love. And to the next time, everybody like, share, comment, and we see you.